Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 296 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Today we are talking about, of course, physical health and well-being, and its interaction and connection to all the different other areas and aspects of the life framework. Life framework, 9-part life framework I've shared for years now as a 7-part life framework, but during the COVID pandemic, I got some coaching and mentoring to keep me moving forward during that challenging time in many of our lives, like most of our lives. And I got some really core skill training in areas of communication and confidence. And to me, those are foundational areas that we want to make sure we're considering and continually improving in every single year, every day, but every single year. And so I added them to the life framework that I use personally and that I share and teach other people. And so today I'm going to share, it's really like a spider web, right? The interaction, the interconnection of the different life framework areas with one another. And so every month we look at this lovely graphic that I drew for one of my coaching students because we were talking about it. And as we're talking, I'm drawing it and we're going through examples of how they're connected, etc. And this is basically what it looks like. It's all interconnected and it's a big old weavy web, just like a spider web, of different interconnections in different areas and aspects of the relationship. So we're going to do something a little different today. I'm going to keep it kind of simple. What I'd like to do is in my handy dandy journal for the annual challenge, write the area that we're focusing on this month is physical, and then all the different 9 life framework areas. Then I ask myself, normally, what is the connection between those two? So, for example, my mental health and my mental state, my mental health and my mental health and well-being, the thoughts I'm thinking, the beliefs that I'm living on, or that are predominant in my life right now, because now is the only time that we can actually have any impact on anything, right? Now is the only time we can take action. And so I'm thinking about today and right now, and instead of thinking about all the different interactions, I'm going to come up with one word that describes a positive relationship between those two things, and one word that describes what if the relationship between those two things is negative. Now, I haven't done it yet. I just thought of it. And so I just put in my handy dandy little notebook, positive, negative, all of the different 9 life frameworks, and then physical. And I'm just going to have 2 words by each of those. One will be, what is the word in my mind that will trigger and describe when I am thinking negatively about my physical health and well-being, when I'm doing negative self-talk, when I'm putting myself down, when I'm eating a yummy caramel dessert and beating myself up for it. What is the one negative word I'm going to use to describe that relationship between my mind and my physical health and well-being? And what is the positive? What is the word that I'm going to use when I am positively describing or thinking about my physical health and well-being, right? I know. I think it's going to be kind of fun. And so we'll end up with 18 different words. When we catch ourselves behaving in the way that's negative, we're going to automatically flip to the way that's positive. At least that's what I'm going to do over the next week or so, to see if this is a habit that helps me, number 1, to eliminate negative self-talk. Number 2, to replace it with positive cheerleader self-talk. I'm just talking about the relationship between physical and mental, because we can't talk about all of them here. It'd take an hour or so. But that's what we're going to do for each of the different areas of the life framework. I'm kind of excited about today's exercise because I love it when I just think of one right before we start. And then I'm like, yeah, that's going to be a actual challenge to come up with only one word, positive and negative, to describe the relationship between each of the areas. So how about physical health and well-being and confidence? What's your negative and what's your positive word? Physical health and well-being and communication, positive, negative. Our spiritual connection with our physical health and well-being, our financial, our relationships. What kind of an impact, positive or negative, does a negative relationship between your relationships and your physical health and well-being? What's a word that describes when that is negative, and what's a word that describes when that's positive? I hope I'm explaining this well enough. If you don't understand, if you're like, what in the heck are you talking about? Please just reach out and ask, and we can just chat about it for a minute. We'll get really, really clear. That's it. Any questions? Hit me up and ask. This is, like I said, when I have a discussion about this, this is what it looks like. That might be a peek into the mind of Sharon. I'm not sure. Probably is. All right. Have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.